Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we break down the true main events of SummerSlam, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. It's lost the Midcard. We are back from our summer vacation. We're here and ready to preview the Brooklyn weekend for you. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn for SummerSlam, Summerfest, whatever you want to call it. It's here. It's upon us. And we will break those down. Talk about Raw and SmackDown and NXT leading up to all those shows. Catch you up on some headlines this week. And, of course, our newest segment being The Elite. We'll discuss that as well. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Not broadcasting, but podcasting. Just search for Lost to the Midcard. Hit the subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday. Also, keep an eye on special editions of Lost to the Midcard after the pay-per-views. Cannot guarantee one this time for SummerSlam because I'm going to be out of town. So I'll be back Sunday, but I don't know when Sunday exactly. So I don't even know if I'll get NXT TakeOver even watched before SummerSlam's 8-hour extravaganza or however the hell long it is.
And if I'm banging my head off my fucking computer halfway through SummerSlam, I don't want to record anyway.
Yeah. So we're probably going to talk about TakeOver, SummerSlam, all that on next Thursday's show. But I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, you just heard him. He's on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing, man. It's SummerSlam week, but let's be completely honest, it really doesn't feel like it.
No.
This is becoming a disturbing trend with WWE's big pay-per-views, when you're supposed to feel like the big hype build going into the show, and you're kind of left cold. And I feel like Raw and SmackDown left me with a whole lot of chilly feelings this week.
Yeah, it's weird. SmackDown has been good. More excited, obviously, for the SmackDown side of the card than the Raw side of the card. But, I mean, lots of intrigue on NXT, that's for damn sure. We were, as advertised, going to be joined by Daryl, as he's always usually on the show. Unfortunately, he's got a family matter to attend to, so we will not have Daryl on the show this evening. So hopefully everything is okay with him and his family there. But let's go ahead and just start with the bummer news. It was announced on Monday morning, that former WWF Tag Team Champion Jim the Anvil Neidhart passed away. He was 63 years old. The former WWE star Brian Blair announced the passing and wrote with a sad heart that I share with you the passing of a longtime friend and colleague, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Your thoughts and prayers for the family are appreciated. Of course, Neidhart, biggest impact in professional wrestling was with, of course, Bret the Hitman Hart and the Hart Foundation, and later on that Hart Foundation expanded to include Brian Pillman and British Bulldog and Owen Hart, and Jim also competed in ECW and many other promotions, Stampede Wrestling, of course, up in Canada as well. It's definitely a tough one. WWE had made the announcement as well shortly after they announced it in the morning. It started making the rounds. Bret Hart posted on Twitter, stunned and saddened. I just don't have the words right now. TMZ reported that EMTs were called to Jim's home early in the Monday morning. He had fell and hit his head, and expected that, and the officials believe that he passed away from the injury after hitting his head. No foul play was suspected in the matter. Natalia's match, obviously against Alexa Bliss, was removed. we'll get into what Ronda said. Great open with Ronda Rousey. We'll get into that once we get to Raw. Also, according to TMZ, investigators said that Jim's wife Ellie had told the investigators that he was having problems sleeping, and got out of bed to adjust the thermostat, and he went to touch it, turned weirdly as if he was about to dance, and then fell into the wall and into the ground, believing he was having a seizure, something he was taking medication for. There was medication in Neidhart's home, but officials have confirmed that it was not abused, and just a sad, another sad ending to one of the guys we watched growing up, Matt.
I'm so sick and tired of all the deaths in wrestling lately.
Yeah, and this one wasn't. I mean, Jim had his health problems, but this surely was not one we saw coming.
Yeah, it sucks. And there's been way too many people have died this month, and it gets harder and harder to deal with each, additional one that gets added to the list, and at some point you just feel like enough's enough.
And for those that may not be familiar or want to relive the career of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, WWE Network has added a collection of Anvil, and there's a special tribute to him. They show the heart of an anvil. I don't know if that's what they showed on Raw. What they showed on Raw was a phenomenal piece. The playlist, the collection will go all the way back to his days with Stampede Wrestling in 1983, and even show you some of the ECW days in 1993, and even some his return to the company when they reunited the Hart Foundation, and all the way up to 1997 in a 10-man tag match at Canadian Stampede, an in-your-house pay-per-view. And of course, outpouring of support. A lot of people. The consensus was, he was one of the nicest guys in professional wrestling, and if you check out Natty's Instagram, Nat by Nature, she has a great tribute to her father there as well. If you want to check it out. In other news, it's not even any direction to change from the sadness. Another kind of a sad story is the fact that it's come to this, Matt. Colt Cabana has sued CM Punk for unpaid legal fees, and a lifelong friendship is now kind of shattered because of this. What are your thoughts on this whole deal?
Extremely disappointing.
In who? Both?
Until Punk's lawyers come back with a retort, I can't say. Because clearly they're going to have to answer the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I just think the disappointment goes all the way around right now. And yeah, it's just it's hard to really know for sure who's at fault here until both sides are heard. I hate just wanting to just go on one side based on one side of the story when the other side is yet to be told. Yeah. But just the whole side is it sucks. The whole situation sucks.
The one side is Cabana saying that Punk basically told him he was covered in regards to legal fees, and so, then it's apparently was not the intention of Punk, and those bills have racked up to over $500,000. So now you got to spend some more money with the lawyers and everything, and it's another sad story in professional wrestling there. So Matt, let's lift things up and talk about being the elite, shall we?
Anything's better than what we're talking about right now.
And just because the show is so great, it does deserve us to go back a couple weeks and talk. And because we sure as hell ain't going to talk about the last 3 weeks of Raw, are we? No.
No.
We'll barely talk about this week.
God, no.
How about Bernard peeking in on Nick taking a whiz there a couple weeks ago?
Bernard's a dick.
He is. He even called Nick out for having a little wiener. So, very cool moment though. We're talking episode 113 from a couple of weeks ago. Pretty cool. We got Matt Jackson with the family opening up the children's books, and I know our buddy Scott bought one. What did the kids think of the Young Bucks Stand Tall? You heard anything yet?
I haven't asked. No, I don't know. Hopefully they liked it, but no, I didn't ask.
SCU's in a town they hate, and they just wish they were back in Southern California. Juice Robinson talking with Taka Michinoku. That was rather interesting. And then there are the nightmares that Adam Page is having. Is this guy gonna snap?
Probably.
What's gonna happen, man? Is he gonna kill Joey Janela at all? Is he gonna attempt to kill Joey Janela at All In before Joey Ryan makes the save?
Yeah, we all know Joey Ryan is quote unquote returning at All In. So I think I read somewhere. I think that's opening the show.
Is it the main card?
Yeah, I think the pay per view itself, not 0 Hour, but I believe I heard somewhere that Janela and Adam Page were opening the show. Yeah. So that'll be a good way to get the crowd off hot. Actually, I think Janela said it on Busted Open last week.
Did he? Okay.
I'm trying to remember where I heard it. I think Janela said it on Busted Open last week. They were opening the show.
So where do you think Flip, Brandy is consoling Flip, of course, after his failed attempt to beat Nick Aldis for the NWA Heavyweight title? Where's Flip going to fit in here at All In?
I would not be the slightest bit surprised to see him wrestle under a mask and win the over budget battle royal.
Is that what that's called?
Challenge Jay Lethal for the ROH Championship later on that night on the show.
Is that what it's called? The over budget battle royal?
Yeah, it's called the over budget battle royal.
Marty Scurll is he's fucked basically when it comes to him against Okada.
I really want him. I want him to win so bad.
He might. You never.
Since everybody's saying he's fucked, I want him. I really want to see Marty win that match.
I would. When we come to predictions in a couple weeks, Jesus Christ, All In's all will stop upon us, isn't it? I would.
I want to give a big thank you to Honor Club.
Yes.
For broadcasting All In, and not only broadcasting All In, but treating it like every other ROH pay-per-view. Honor Club VIP members get the show for free.
Yeah.
And that made me so happy.
Yeah, but both Matt
and I
are...
Thank you, Honor Club.
Both Matt and I are Honor Club members. That gesture might well enough... I have not used Honor Club to its fullest potential like I should have. That gesture alone, it makes me almost want to... I'm going to re-up next year just because that was a nice little gesture. And I just have not gotten my money out of it yet. I'm getting there. But Nick Aldis runs into Marty Scurll eating some beef jerky because, well, it's got protein, so maybe if he eats enough of it, he becomes a heavyweight, right? Then the family celebrating the book opening. Then they talk to Okada. I believe was it Okada's birthday?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Arthur and what's the other guy's name?
I only remember Arthur. I can never remember who the other guy's name is.
The other guy's name is, I think it's been ever said once since episode 100. Oh, yeah, and
because you always just remember because the other guy goes, now, Arthur.
Now, Arthur.
Calm down.
They give Cody...
That's why I always remember Arthur's name, because the other guy's always telling him to calm down.
They're talking about Cody's political campaign career and how they... I don't know. Oh, and somebody else is using some pointing fingers behind the camera, aren't they, Matt?
fucking Impact.
The end of 113, they've been dropping us little all-in bombshells after each episode. At the end of 113, 6-man tag match. Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix. I can't remember the last guy's name. Is it Desperado?
I don't remember the guy's name.
Dude from Triple H. Triple H.
From Triple H.
Guy from Triple A. Taking on the Bucks and Kota Ibushi. 6-man tag. Episode 114 kicked off with I love the montage, the crows flying, and once again Adam Page having a breakdown. I love that little video editing there. Then they showed a little time lapse of the Bucks signing a shitload of their books and their children's books. They also had a signing. The Bucks and Flip and Marty had a signing at a baseball stadium. And we see Arthur and whatever talking to the best friends, and the best friends don't look too impressed with Arthur and the other guy, do they? They're just sitting there.
Not at all.
Hey, what's up, Matt? SCU is happy. They're happy.
Because they're in Southern California. SCU!
And, oh, wait, but all of a sudden, somebody walks across the camera and Scorpio's distracted. Was that famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan that just walked by?
It most certainly was.
They're like, I loved Kaz. Come on, do the thing. Do it. I can't. Oh, man. The Bucks paid a visit to the Ass Man, who was also doing signings. They were doing some, looked like some wrestling event in a baseball stadium. It looked like I saw a ring back there. I don't know exactly.
A lot of baseball, like minor league baseball, will do like wrestling day. Or like pro wrestling day, and they'll like bring in a bunch of wrestlers to do signings to attract people to the ballpark. The one by me, the team by me does it. The farm league of the Orioles. I can't remember their name off the top of my head. I know
so they even have
where I used to grow up does it. So I think that's what this was. They were just minor league baseball teams. Bring in the wrestlers, get the people to show up at the park, hopefully they spend more money, that's how it works.
Yeah, they had a wrestling ring on the field too. So, Stephen Amell in his trailer, cutting a promo on Christopher Daniels, because that's going down at All In.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
Oh, yeah. As
soon as I knew Daniels was the one writing the emails, I'm like, yep, they're fighting it All In.
Marty Scurll working out with the Bucks wearing the I'm a Heavyweight shirt. Just keep telling yourself that, Marty. I still love the old and here it is during the workout session. Lo and behold, is that Jake Hager working out, the man formerly known as Jack Swagger? He's got a message for Marty. Well, you're fucked.
Poor Marty.
And a great fan of Being the Elite brought 24 donuts to Marty Scurll so he could put on some weight. How about that? What a nice... Being the Elite has some nice fans.
Damn right.
Kenny Omega wants his book back that Adam Page borrowed from him. Basically, Kenny says his key to victories are the psychology books he reads. And then, the end of the show, the Bucks, the end of 114, the Bucks kind of tease us by standing in front of a particular building in Orlando, Florida, huh?
Please don't go.
Hey, if it's NXT, that's fine.
Yeah, but they can't stay in NXT forever.
No, but
and then you know what happens when they get on the main roster. So again, I stay. Please don't go. Please don't do it. Don't go. Don't do it, please.
Well, we know Vince is the closer we get to XFL, the further away Vince is going to be from the WWE.
He needs to be gone. As long as he still has some fingerprints on it, I don't trust tag team. I don't trust tag team wrestling on the main roster. You know that what'll happen? They'll get signed by NXT. They'll have a great run in NXT. They'll get brought up to the main roster. They'll be hot for 6 months. They'll be moved on to mediocrity, and then 6 months later, for some reason, Nick's turning on Matt, and they split them up and become singles wrestlers.
Sounds like Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Or the Dudleys, or Edge and Christian, or every other fucking tag team WWE's ever had. There's no long-term good that can come from the Young Bucks coming to the WWE right now. There's just not. The entire world of professional wrestling will be knocked on its ass if WWE manages to sign the Young Bucks.
Yeah, no shit.
It would not be a good thing for pro wrestling as a whole. The only thing it would be good for is WWE for trying to continuing to wipe out their competition.
Yeah.
And if you don't think WWE is going to go hard at a bunch of New Japan and Ring of Honor talent over these next 8 months to try to diminish the card for the G1 Supercard at the Garden, you're not thinking clearly.
Cody Rhodes at a training facility. Hey, hi DDP, how you doing? Where he officially says he's talking about what was it? What were they're like kind of talking about.
He was suspending his campaign.
But then he throws. Then he talks about All In after that and throws a football to Adam Page, who catches a water bottle. I loved this tossing of one thing and they catching another thing. That was kind of funny. It all led to the big announcement that 0 Hour All In will be on WGN America. How huge is that, Matt?
It's pretty freaking cool, man.
So basically, it's a kickoff show of sorts.
I was pretty bummed when this episode first aired, because they didn't. They announced pay-per-view, they announced fight, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to go buy this pay-per-view. I was hoping it was gonna be on the Honor Club, and then like 20 minutes later, they tweeted out, and of course it's gonna be on Honor Club. I'm like, yes. Thank you.
I don't know why. I don't know why they took so long to get to that point.
Yeah, I think they just forgot to mention it.
Maybe, and we're all.
I feel like that's the only thing I can assume.
We're all freaking out.
But I'm so happy it's on Honor Club. Like, you don't even know. Like, I can't wait for September 1st now.
Rey Mysterio making a Being the Elite appearance as a Marty Scurll. Talks about how he's looked up to Rey and how Rey became a world champion for his size, and wanted some words of wisdom. And Rey couldn't think of anything, so Marty goes, "I'm fucked, ain't I?" Yep. Oh my God. The Bucks, they're in Japan, and looking for some great Japanese cuisine at the Hard Rock Cafe. Omega comes in with Chase Owens and Skrull and the Bucks and Coda. They had to face each other in a G1 match in a 6-man tag, and Matt comes up with the idea that they choreograph every single move without hitting each other. Nice shot at the WWE there, huh?
I don't know if it was a shot at WWE or if it was just them having fun. Like, I don't know if that was a shot on WWE or not.
Because there's been the word out that WWE, some matches are choreographed step for step, so.
Well, yeah, old Randy Savage's matches were.
Christopher Daniels is in Mexico and talks about how this is the worst town he's ever been in Spanish. And SU. Marty, don't ask about Adam Page not wearing boots ever again. as they go to have some more fine Japanese cuisine, this time at TJA Fridays. Paige's got to give him some cowboy boots eventually, don't you think? What did you think about the talking cowboy boots? I mean,
I laughed.
Adam is losing it. And the talking cowboy boots, that was hilarious. That was great. And Cody returning the weight belt, the cleaner weight belt. Not before stealing a bunch of other things from Kenny Omega, though.
Took a bunch of food.
Yeah. He even put on Kenny's glasses and did the pose. Then they cut to the Bucks and Omega. Omega looking down because he has to face his buddy Kota in the G1. They showed the Bucks getting ready to join. They showed Kenny getting ready to make his appearance. He was warming up in the room. Bucks in the room talking about it, and they're going out to support their boys. And then they cut to after the match. Of course, Kota Ibushi won. Go to the finals against Tanahashi. And they start talking about what Kenny Omega is going to do at All In, and he's not happy that he's in the co-main event, is he?
That hardcore guy from TNA? No way!
This is where they drop the announcement: Kenny Omega against Pentagon Jr.
Called that shit.
Yes, you did. You did last show. The Elite. Ratings. What the hell happened to Impact Wrestling? Holy shit. This is like...
I think more people watch Being the Elite on a weekly basis than Impact at this point.
Let's see how many people have watched Being the Elite this week so far. 3 days ago, and it's got 186,000 views. TNA drew 168,000 views for last week's
Point
edition.
proven.
This is worse than the Thanksgiving episode. The Thanksgiving episode drew 1,000 more viewers.
Yeah, I think it's like their worst rating ever.
What happened? Actually, their worst rating came on December 14th, 2017. Was that when Pop had the big screw up?
The bitchin' edition?
Where the transmission, the feed went out or something.
Yeah, so they kept re-airing that 70s show commercial over and over again.
Oh, is that what they did?
Just bitchin'!
That was probably... That drew less viewers by 7,000 only.
Fucking TNA.
I haven't watched Impact in a while. What's wrong with it?
I don't know. Like, I don't feel like their shows post Slammiversary have been very strong overall.
Yeah, and what's with this Killer Cross connection with Austin Aries now?
Like he's a gun for hire for Aries or whatever. I don't know. And some of the spoilers I've read for the next couple weeks of TV really don't intrigue me either.
No? Do you want to talk about one particular spoiler with one particular belt? Or not till it happens?
I mean, TNA's already talked about it. If you want to talk about it, knock yourself out.
I didn't know they did, so I was just checking. But new Knockouts champion, Tessa Blanchard. Well, she got paid, so hey, give her the belt now, right?
Oh, that's the only thing I feel like that's the only thing they've done right lately. So, I just feel like they've lost all their momentum since the pay-per-view. The shows since Slammiversary just haven't been to the level of the TV that was leading up to the pay-per-view or the pay-per-view itself, and it's disappointing.
I heard Seidel and who was it? Was it Phoenix? Seidel and somebody had a good match, I heard. I didn't have a chance to watch it, though. Raw stayed steady at 2.82 million. They've done a good job of holding the audience in the third hour lately, too, even though the product has been pretty trash on Raw lately. SmackDown continues to hover at the high 2.1 millions for the second straight week after a little drop-off. They started bouncing back They dropped off a little bit this week. Miz and Mrs. continues to impress. They obviously are going down from the premiere, but obviously more people are going to tune into the premiere to see what it's like. But they're still holding an audience. 1.225 million for week 3, and Matt, season 2 is already announced.
Well deserved. The show's great.
Yes,
it's very entertaining, and honestly, right now, SmackDown's ratings are going to continue to suffer, because they're essentially going head to head every week with America's Got Talent. And that's a very big ratings juggernaut, and they've just started their live shows this week.
Yeah.
So when you're going up against something like that, and that's on from 8 to 10, right opposite of you on network TV, like, your ratings are going to suffer for it. You know, and that's just what it is. And that's why Raw's ratings suffer every time you go into the fall when the new TV's out and Monday Night Football's on. You know, SmackDown's just facing some pretty stiff competition on Tuesday nights right now in their time slot.
Yeah.
So there's just nothing they can do about it.
Ronda Rousey recently interviewed with Sports Illustrated and talked about her memories of WrestleMania, her WrestleMania debut, and the image of her smiling on the way to the ring. And she mentioned that came from Vince McMahon. She said, "I usually walk out and I'm all business, but Vince specifically told me to allow myself to feel everything that I was feeling and not hide anything, not try to go out and be a tough girl, allow myself to smile and enjoy it, because according to Vince, when I smile, the whole world wants to hug me." So for those that wonder why she doesn't come to the ring all badassery all the time, that would be why.
And she shouldn't have to come out to the ring badassery all the time.
No.
There's a time there's a time to come out angry, and there's a time not to.
Yeah.
And I wish more wrestlers would do that. I wish you differentiated yourself, because sometimes it's one wrestler's always coming out angry, or one wrestler's, no matter what, they're always coming out happy, even though, you know, the storyline should dictate that you guys shouldn't be fucking happy, but you're fucking happy. You know, I wish there was more range in some of the other wrestlers on the roster right now. If your storyline says you should be pissed, come out pissed. You know, who cares if it's not your normal entrance stick? You know, make people believe. It's simple shit. And Ronda has only been doing this stuff for 8 months and is, you know, has that idea down better than half of the roster.
Yeah. It has come out that Sinclair has lost its bid to purchase Tribune Media. That was officially announced last week. They had terminated the purchase agreement and filed a lawsuit against Sinclair for breach of contract. Whoops. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Sinclair airs in 39% of the United States, would have brought the number up to 42% if the Tribune deal would have went through. And if the deal had been completed, expectations were that ROH would have been landing on WG in America.
Yeah, it really sucks that's not going to happen.
There had been talk of ROH doing a 2-hour weekly cable broadcast if and when they had the proper forum. Obviously, WG in America would have been that forum. But yep, that's dead in the water right now, unfortunately. Congrats to the good brother, Carl Anderson, welcoming his 4th baby boy to the world. That happened last week. Obviously, Anderson scared everybody by saying he had an announcement to make, and everybody immediately thought, oh, they're leaving for Japan. No, he's just having a baby boy. Matt, you ever saw the movie They Live from the 80s with Roddy Piper?
Love that movie.
The Alamo Drafthouse Theater chain is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the film and going to have a series of screenings around the country, as long as an exclusive T-shirt that you can buy at the screenings. The movie originally came out in 1988, directed by John Carpenter. Very cool. I love the Alamo Drafthouse because they do things like this. And we got one in Omaha, Nebraska, which is about an hour away from me. I've been there a few times. Went to like a Big Lebowski party once there. Very cool. It's a very cool place, and I love how they kind of bring the older movies to life by doing stuff like this. So that was really cool. The screen.
Yeah, I don't think I have any of those near me.
Update for ROH at MSG. As of the 9th of August, 12,000 tickets had already been sold, and the remaining tickets will go on sale on the 10th. And so basically, sell out. How about that, huh?
Yeah, they sold out in minutes once they went on sale to the general public.
The COO of ROH, Joe Koff, said, "We are humbled and appreciative of our fans and their belief and support of Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. All we can say is thank you." And that might open up some TV station or some cable stations' eyes maybe eventually and say, hey, these guys might be worth a shot. If WG in America can't get it done, maybe somebody else jumps in there. Who knows? Maria Kanellis has suffered a broken wrist while training at the Performance Center for her comeback after giving birth to her and Mike Bennett's first child. She'll be in a cast for about 6 weeks and hopes to return and appear by the Evolution pay-per-view in Long Island. The Super Show in Australia coming up in October 6th in Melbourne, and John Cena and Kevin Owens will be squaring off against each other. That was just announced a few days ago. Also, the last ever match between Undertaker and Triple H. And be their first match since WrestleMania 28. That's been announced as well. And a whole litany of everybody who's who WWE is going to be there in a stadium that holds just a hair over 100,000 people. If you have Verizon Fios and we're enjoying Major League Wrestling, good news. After issues between the two parties, there has been an agreement. beIN Sports is now back on the air for Verizon Fios customers. You're Verizon, aren't you?
'Tis I.
I've had a hellacious summer, busy as hell. I've not watched MLW lately. Have you?
Friday's just a bad night for TV for me. I don't watch a lot of TV on Fridays, and until I update my cable box, I can't even DVR it. So
yeah, I DVR it, and I still I have a hard time getting through it. Getting to it, I mean, not through it, because it's a good product. Congrats to Hiroshi Tanahashi. He defeated Kota Ibushi in the finals of the G1 Climax in Tokyo on the 12th. He will face Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Tokyo Dome. Wrestle Kingdom 13. Are we at 13 next year? I think so.
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That'll be a hell of a match. I think it's kind of put a legend in there to kind of for Omega to defend his belt against, and Omega's going to come out the champion. I think that's kind of what they're doing, don't you think?
As long as he resigns.
Ooh, when's his deal up?
January.
Ooh,
yeah.
Front row at NXT Takeover Phoenix.
So scary.
So, as we said in our Being the Elite recap, Kenny Omega and Pentagon Jr. added to the card. That includes NWA champion Nick Aldis going against Cody Rhodes, Kazuchika Okada against Marty Scurll. Marty, you're fucked. The Bucks at Ibushi against Rey, Bandito, and Rey Mysterio, I should say. Joey Janela against Hangman Page. Stephen Amell taking on Christopher Daniels. The Briscoes against SU. And a 15-man over-budget battle royal that's going to feature the likes of Colt Cabana Moose, Rocky Romero, and others. And and according to Matt, a masked Flip Gordon, which I completely would agree with. That'd be funny.
They need to hurry up and unbook Colt so they can get Punk on the show.
In some news that's going to devastate Matt completely, TMZ Sports caught up with Enzo Amore and asked about a return to the ring, and Enzo said he'll never wrestle again, not in a million years. And Matt's just distraught.
I don't give a flying fuck, and I still think he'll wrestle again.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't believe them.
SmackDown 1000 is set 2 months from the day you hear this taping, October 16th. The historic 1000th episode will take place from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., and tickets are available starting this Friday, so tomorrow, for those people looking to attend at oldticketcrapper.com. Matt, you going?
I don't know.
The show has been on air since 1999, the second longest running weekly episodic cable television show in the United States. Gee, what's the first one? Monday Night Raw.
See, I was all planning to have this big discussion with Daryl tonight on the show.
Yeah.
Because ROH is that weekend, and then there's SmackDown like 3 days later. I don't really want to go to both. I want to pick one.
Go to both.
And I just don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet. So,
a historic moment this Monday on Monday Night Raw when Renee Young was in the commentary booth for the entire show, and Matt, she did a hell of a job.
Easily the highlight of the show. To me was how well Renee Young did. I thought she was fantastic.
She kicked ass, man. Probably the first time in our 3.5-year run on Lost in the Midcard that I've ever read a tweet from Michael Cole, but I'm reading a tweet from Michael Cole. Words cannot express how proud I am of Renee Young. What she accomplished last night is no easy feat. That chair is a tough one to sit in. She brought poise, professionalism, and a refreshing view. Renee and Corey Graves were a great team. Thank you for helping me feel young again. Good words there by Michael Cole. And yeah, God damn, she did a tremendous job. Coach is sputtering in that seat.
I just think they should remove Graves from one of the shows and put Renee in there. Yeah. Just make your pick.
I want Renee and Graves.
He doesn't need to be on both.
I think Renee and Graves work well together, though. Move Coach.
I'm just saying when you got a double duty commentator and you have someone as good as Renee ready to go.
Yeah.
You take away the double duty commentator.
They move Coach to SmackDown and Coach in Saxton.
I just think you move. I think you take Graves off one of the shows.
Yeah, but I want Graves and Renee together in the commentary booth. So that means he'd be removed from SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
We don't want a 4-man booth. We've had that before. Boy, that was a clusterfuck and a half. Sin Cara is traveling to that city that not many wrestlers want to go to. It's not Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. It's Birmingham, Alabama, as he may be facing surgery. Impact Wrestling's founder, Jeff Jarrett, has filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Impact Wrestling owner Anthem Sports. Why?
He's a fucking idiot.
I guess, are they talking about the Global Force Network? And how, like, Anthem has used a reproduction, counterfeit copy, or imitation of Global Force Wrestling and their trademarks? Is that what he's kind of referring to as the GFN?
No, and honestly, I don't even want to discuss it because the whole thing's fucking retarded.
Well, alrighty then. Speaking of Impact, WWE hires one of their top producers, James Long, the head coordinating producer and video editor for Impact Wrestling, has moved over to the WWE. He's hired specifically for NXT. Who else did some video editing for them that they stole? Oh yeah, Jeremy Borash. Word is that he was also involved heavily in the broken content that Jeremy Borash brilliantly directed for Impact Wrestling. So there you go. More talent coming over. NXT. Take a quick look back at last week. We got Amber Nova. Was this Amber Nova's debut in NXT?
I know I've seen her before. Maybe
Yeah,
I
she
saw
was
her
at Impact. She's been in Impact, yeah.
I know I saw her before, and I couldn't remember if I saw her before in Impact or if I saw her, in NXT. So yeah, it might have been her NXT debut, but I knew I'd seen her before.
A good talent, only been in the business a couple of years, so she's already making strides. Yeah, it was Impact that I first saw her, so I could not remember if she'd been in NXT or not. She took on Nikki Cross in a quick match. Showed a video package for Keith Lee. Ricochet's music hits as he's expected to have a match, but here comes the Undisputed Era. Oh, and they're carrying Ricochet, so they attacked him from the back. They interviewed Vanessa Bourne, who's taking on Tainara Conchi for the final spot in the Mae Young Classic. Second match of the evening, a guy by the name of Adrian Giroud, who looks like the modern-day Steve Blackman, took on Cassius Ohno. Ohno got the win there. Maybe a little mini push for Ohno. That's another good thing about that North American Championship. That's something that Ohno could easily go after if he can't get in the NXT Championship picture, Matt.
Agreed.
Maybe they're grooming him to be the next one to face Cole if Cole wins. We'll see.
I don't think Cole wins.
We'll see who picks what later on in the show. What'd you think of the EC3 visiting the Velveteen Dream at the pool?
Entertaining enough.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Actually, the house of the Purple Rainmaker, and he had dropped his glasses, was getting ready to push EC3 into the pool, but EC3 was ready for that one. Gave him a 1%er into the pool. Marcel,
I can pretty much guarantee that was filmed by Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, it definitely had, because Borash has filmed some of their things with him and with EC3 and McIntyre when they were both at Impact.
Yep.
It had that same kind of feel, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely felt like a Borash production.
Marcel Barthel, a German man, making his NXT debut, taking on Keith Lee. What a great pop for Keith Lee, too. I was cool that the NXT Universe gave him a nice little pop. I was kind of impressed with Barthel, too, at the same time. I think he could maybe be an asset for NXT going forward, hopefully.
I thought they gave him way too much. When this was clearly supposed to be a spotlight on Keith Lee, and you had the video package and everything earlier in the show, I thought they gave this guy way too much. Yeah. I felt it. Yeah, I felt it was a disservice to Keith Lee in his debut. I thought he had to work way too hard to win that match. If you're gonna make him work that hard to beat somebody, at least have him beat a character that's been consistently on the TV. Like have him have trouble with Kona Reeves or something. Somebody that has consistently been on TV and has won some matches, not some dude we've never seen before. I didn't think I don't think the debut did right by Keith Lee at all. So we'll see where they go with him from here.
Were you surprised that Tainara Conchi beat Vanessa Bourne to get to the Mae Young? I was kind of expecting Vanessa to win that match.
Well, the other one hasn't really been used on TV as much, and Vanessa's more of an NXT character now, so it really didn't surprise me.
Her spot's already, and it looks like they've been working on putting a little personality into Conchi. She was almost like a Terminator kind of deal, when she kind of did the Hitman thing when the Undisputed Era was feuding with Sanity. It looks like they're putting a little more personality into her, and obviously, I mean that's part of the process in the WWE and NXT Performance Center is working on all facets of being a pro wrestler. So Conchi moves on to the final spot in the Mae Young Classic. Gargano in black. Obviously, great match for the time it was given until Tommaso Ciampa broke in and started a melee, and Regal says, well, you know what? It's a triple threat match now. To go to the credits, but after the credits is what the interesting thing happened. Aleister Black was laid out in the parking lot. Truth be told, though, Aleister has a legit injury that's preventing him from being at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. But they took that injury and made it into something really intriguing, didn't they, Matt?
Yeah, and honestly, with everybody that was pictured throughout the thing, if I had to pin...
Oh, go ahead.
If it's not Gargano and Ciampa, the smart money is on Lars Sullivan.
I'm going to say it's nobody that you saw. It's going to be.
I think it was Lars.
I think it's going to be somebody that you aren't seeing coming. I have a feeling. I have a feeling everybody that was shown for a reason. Looks like they kind of introduced the little trio there, Wesley Blake and I can't remember what they named the other guys. The old was it Steve Cutler?
I don't know. One of them was Gunner.
And one of them was Gunner. Yeah, I think Steve Cutler.
Whatever. I can't remember what his NXT name is.
Yeah, he's got a new name. Looks like that might be a trio going forward. So I think it's somebody that they did not break down the footage of. But I
100% disagree.
I thought it was cool that they broke.
I guarantee you, it will be somebody. It will be someone that was shown. And I think it's going to end up being Lars, because Lars was walking away from the scene of the crime when Regal got up there.
Well, Gargano was walking into the building all...
Yeah, but Lars was going in the opposite direction of everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for them confirming that it was Lars, like, whoever that guy in the background was that was walking away was my initial suspect to begin with. And when they said tonight that it was Lars Sullivan, I'm like, yeah, that's who did it.
Yeah, well, I'll stick to my guns. You stick to yours. But it was a great breakdown.
Hey, you love being wrong, so...
Yeah. You said that about Charlotte breaking the streak, too. That was a cool breakdown, though, by him. By NXT, wasn't it?
It's a classic whodunit.
Yep. Dun, dun, dun. Professor Plum in the pool.
Lars Sullivan with his bare hands in the parking lot.
Street Profits take on the Mighty to kick things off. I kind of thought maybe Heavy Machinery would distract the Mighty and cause them to lose, but instead the Street Profits, Montez Ford reversed the cheating by Shane Thorne and pulled his own tights and got the win for the 1-2-3. Shayna Baszler giving Aaliyah some advice backstage. I can only wonder what Matt was saying to himself during that moment.
You ain't getting me to comment on that.
Come on. The Undisputed Era doing what they do best. Cut a great NWO style promo on Mustache Mountain and the War Raiders. If Fish ever gets back healthy soon, man, would you've ever thought War Machine against Red Dragon in the NXT, man?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not just going to hand Fish the title back.
I don't know how they're going to handle that, but because Fish won the title, right? Oh no, not this time around because they lost it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, technically, I guess they could treat them like the New Day.
Yeah, they could,
and have them interchange members if they want to do it that way. But I think Cole's going to drop the title to Ricochet at Takeover, and I think Cole's going to be the next guy to go after the world title.
I think I think they should stick with the 4. They don't need to kick Roddy out or
I don't think they're kicking Roddy out.
I think they need to add. I think they need to add a woman, make it a 5-person stable, and add a woman to the group. I think that would be great. Kyrie.
Well, they teased Conte months ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
They didn't do anything with it afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think she was quite ready for NXT yet because she's kind of not been around. But she'll be in the Mae Young Classic, that's for sure. Kairi Sane took on Aaliyah, and we got to see a vicious side of Kairi Sane.
This was glorious.
3 insane elbows, and then the anchor submission maneuver to get the win. And a little stare down between Sane and Baszler, who's out at the commentary table. Baszler always does a great job at the commentary table, by the way. They show a video package highlighting the North American title match between Cole and Ricochet. Velveteen Dream makes his way to the ring to a lot of cheers. And Dream even kind of, like you said, sometimes you sometimes you smile when you don't need to. And I think Dream kind of acknowledged that the crowd was loving him. Of course, the crowd loves himself some EC3 as well. I love to.
Yeah, this is a really weird matchup because I'm assuming Velveteen Dream's supposed to be the heel.
They're both,
but at the same token, they're both so over,
and they're both kind of, but they're both kind of tweeners too. They're both definitely could be the heel, and they could both easily be the babyface too.
Yeah, like honestly, to me, that's the most intriguing match for Takeover for me, because I'm super curious to see how the crowd in Brooklyn is going to respond to both of those guys.
Oh god, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud and gonna be 50-50. I loved EC3 when he came to the ring. Is this what it sounds like when doves cry? Hey, sick fanny pack, by the way. And then that got the NXT Universe chanting fanny pack. That made Hulk Hogan smile, brother.
Oh Lord.
They decided to go to town and beat the hell out of each other, and EC3 ends up hitting the 1%er on Dream as they go to commercial. Then after that, they showed the old footage breaking down the old whodunit scene with Aleister Black getting laid out. They take a look at the NXT title match between Johnny and Tommaso. And I tell you what, though, man, I mean, it's unfortunate that Black is out of it, but now that Black can't compete in it, it's almost like it's kind of cool that it's kind of the saga is still kind of continuing between these guys. And I have the utmost faith that they can change it up again and give us another memorable match at Takeover.
Well, here's the funny part. This match was originally scheduled for Chicago.
Yeah,
the last man standing stipulation.
But they had AJ.
But since the main roster did it that same weekend with Nakamura and AJ, they changed it to a street fight. So they actually had this match stipulation in their back pocket, and they'd probably already planned for that match ahead of time. So they probably have some ideas laid out for this match already. So it kind of worked out for them in the long run. It'll be. I'm sure the match is going to be great. Oh. It's just I really wanted to see the dynamic with Black in there.
Yeah, me too.
So it's kind of a bummer, but at the same token, I know Champ and Gargano are ready to tear Brooklyn down. So
it was announced that Pete Dunne will defend his United Kingdom Championship against the tournament winner Zach Gibson next week on NXT, which will be, of course, the match.
Brooklyn pregame. Yep.
Brooklyn. Basically NXT on steroids, NXT television on steroids, because it's going to have a rowdy crowd. And I think Pete Dunne and Zach Gibson are going to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Pete Dunne was an excellent idea to have on that show before Takeover goes on the air. So
crowd's going to love it. Crowd loves him.
Yeah, crowd's going to get fired the fuck up before the main show starts. So they're going to be good and ready to go for whatever that opener is. And I would have to guess that the opener is going to be Dream and EC3. So
yeah, it's going to be either that or Cole and Ricochet. It's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, one or the other. And hell, they could open with the tag titles.
Could.
They didn't they open with the tag titles in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could open with the tag titles. It's just clearly it's not going to be Gargano and Ciampa, and it's not going to be Shayna and Carrie. No. So
then we got ourselves a spectacular main event between Tyler Bate and Roddy Strong. So a good note to end as we head to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Tyler Bate got the win with the Tyler Driver 97. So NXT TakeOver Brooklyn Fawa. We got 5 matches on the card, Matt. EC3 Velveteen Dream. I am going to go against the traditional, EC3 got the rub before, so that means Dream's going to win here. I'm still picking EC3 in this one. I just think I think Dream could be allowed to take a step back in terms of winning matches. He's established. Build him up next year to maybe be that title contender, whether it be North American or NXT Championship. I just think this is going to be EC3's match to win. What do you think?
I disagree. I think Dream has lost too many big takeover matches over the course of the last year, and I think this will be the spot where WWE reminds people he's our homegrown guy, and this guy's from TNA. And I think Dream gets the win on Saturday night.
Nice homegrown, Derek Bateman. Hello.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think Dream hasn't had a big win on a takeover. I think he gets it to Saturday night.
Okay. NXT Tag Team Championships, Mustache Mountain taking on the Undisputed Era. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a no contest here for the Era.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
And then Survivor Series.
I feel like this is the only match where you're like, I'm for sure X is going to win.
Yeah, and then they'll probably take on the War Raiders in LA's where SummerSlam is, or Survivor Series is, isn't it?
Yep, War Games.
Ooh. Yeah, I wonder what they'll do for the War Games match.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, but they already announced that Takeover in LA was War Games, so...
I got a weird idea here, Matt.
You always do.
Yeah. What if the War Raiders come in and just beat the shit out of all four guys, and it leads to Undisputed Era, Mustache Mountain, and they could add Pete Dunne, War Raiders, and add somebody else in the War Games match?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I don't like that. That feels too main roster booking to me. I hate when we get to Takeover. I want results. I don't want people. Look, if War Raiders want to come out after the match and lay everybody out, fine. Okay, what do you think? I want a winner and I want a loser before that match is done.
What do you think about that War Games match, though?
Nah, I'm not feeling it. To be perfectly honest, that doesn't get me hyped.
Who would you put in the?
I don't know at this time. I haven't stopped to think about it. But if you're telling me with that, I'm not hyped on it. I'd be better off with a Team Johnny versus Team Ciampa. War Games.
That might happen.
than that. So.
Singles match for the NXT North American Championship, Adam Cole and Ricochet. You've already put out your cards here. Title change, huh?
Yeah, I definitely think this is Ricochet's time. And I think Cole's going after the NXT title. So I think it's time to move him on to bigger and better things, as it were. I think Cole feuds with the person who leaves Takeover with the title.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. He hasn't had a Takeover defense yet. I feel like Adam Cole deserves one. I feel like he's going to have a lengthier run, being the first one to ever hold that belt. So I think Adam Cole's going to retain the title here.
Well, at least we're going to have a whole bunch of disagreements figuring out this weekend.
Yeah. Women's title, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler. I don't see Sane beating Baszler here.
Here's the thing we have to figure out: is Baszler ready?
She is.
Is she coming up?
She is ready, but I don't think they're gonna bring her up right now.
Could you foresee a scenario where Baszler cost Rousey the women's title on Sunday?
How insane would that be?
And she ends up being Bliss's bodyguard.
Oh, how insane would that be?
For that to happen, she would have to lose on Saturday to Kairi Sane.
I just don't see.
So, something in me tells me that Baszler is coming up to the main roster. So,
as badass as that sounds, I don't think she's coming up yet.
I
would put it more on the other four horsewomen making their debut and costing Sane the match to help Shayna retain.
Well, that's entirely possible too.
I'm just not feeling Baszler call up yet. WrestleMania, yes.
At the same token, then I propose to you, if Baszler retains, who's next?
That's a good question.
And I see a whole bunch of opponents they can line up for Sane, and not so much for Baszler.
It's a good point, and I like your book.
So,
I love your idea.
I honestly hate it because I want to see Ronda win the title.
True.
But I could totally see them doing it. Like, I could totally see them doing that.
I don't feel Shayna's going to be there yet.
For now, since I can't foresee an opponent beyond. I'm going to have to go with Sane right now because I don't see an opponent down in NXT right now.
Yeah.
Ready to step up to face Baszler after this match. When they could easily do Bianca Belair and Sane after this. But I don't. Belair and Baszler, that's not a matchup I want to see, and their characters clash so much that I wouldn't even be sure who the fuck I'm supposed to be cheering for. So, yeah, I'm gonna say, just based on the idea that I feel Baszler's out of people to feud with, that Sane wins and Baszler's coming up.
Interesting. We disagreed on 3 out of the 4. We're going to make it 4 out of 5. NXT Championship, last man standing. Tommaso Ciampa takes on Johnny Gargano. Matt, this has been one of the most epic feuds in a long time. It's a feud we don't see much on NXT because long-term feuds just don't exist because people get called up and everything like that. Now that Black's out of the picture, I think this is the perfect time to continue what has happened. I've had 2 thoughts on this. One thought was Ciampa wins and Gargano fights and claws his way back and gets it at Chicago 3. But I don't see. That was kind of the story, but where he finally gets it 2 years after Ciampa turned on him. But I don't know if we're going to have that much time with these guys. I think we're going to continue the feud. I think Gargano's finally going to become champion. And then maybe we'll see where we go from there. But I could see either way happening with Gargano finally overcoming Ciampa in Chicago. But I just don't think Ciampa's going to hold that belt all the way to Chicago next year. Makes for a great story. I just don't see it happening that long. So I'm going to go Gargano here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I got to go Gargano too. I was ready to pick Ciampa until Black got hurt. Because I figured Ciampa could escape this triple threat by beating Black again.
And then do the last man standing at the next pay-per-view.
And Johnny could continue to chase him because I didn't lose that match. You know, Black lost it. You know, I need to get this title off. To me, if Gargano loses this match, the feud's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly why we'll explain one of my later on picks for SummerSlam. If this feud is to continue, Gargano has to win. If Ciampa wins, you can close the book on this feud. It's done. So to me, I feel Gargano has to become NXT champion on Saturday night, or the feud's dead.
In Chicago,
the feud will absolutely be dead.
Chicago is so far away, so
we don't even know if it's going to be in Chicago next year. Just because Money in the Bank was in Chicago 2 years in a row, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go back to Chicago for it again.
Yeah. So, lots of questions that need answered, and it's rare that Matt and I split so much, but it happens.
Well, that's the good thing about NXT.
True. Yeah,
as unbelievably as predictable as the main roster is, you can make a good, valid argument. To me, for everything but the tag match, you can make a good, valid argument for all 4 of the other matches, and have an actual argument why both people should win.
Well, I got an argument.
And that's the great thing about NXT.
Well, I got an argument on Mustache Mountain. I mean, they had to lose.
I don't. And I'll tell you why. NXT UK has already taped their first couple weeks of television and it hasn't aired yet. And Mustache Mountain's been featured without the titles.
Oh, okay.
So to me, that's why right there the Mustache Mountain can't win.
I could see a point on how they could win, though. The fact that they lost because Bate had to throw in the towel before, but he was concerned about 7. But they could overcome that. And
yeah, but then NXT TV, then NXT UK, which obviously they're going to be putting a lot of effort into, would already be outdated.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
So they just that's the only match. Like honestly, if this would have been Undisputed Era and the War Raiders, there would have been 5 matches. We would have had a debate on who was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, to me that's the only closed case on Takeover on Saturday is the tag title match. Which honestly, at this point now, I've told myself this, that needs to open the show. Get the predictable match. Get the predictable match out of the way.
That or you use it as the cooler from the show stealer. Yeah,
but that ain't gonna be no cooler match, dude. We've already seen these two teams tear the house down twice.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna that match ain't gonna be no cool down, brother.
Well, let's just say cooler in terms of the result.
I don't know, man.
Monday Night Raw, live from Greensboro, North Carolina. Woo! Flair country. And Ronda Rousey comes to the ring with a great emotional speech in regards to Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And, of course, her good friend Natalia lost her father. And very, very great emotional message for Ronda to Natty there. Thought that was great. I thought it was kind of weird that there was no graphic for Neidhart in the beginning, but we find out later. We had a nice little video package. So,
to me, the video package more than made up for it.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Alexa Bliss took on
Ember Moon.
Alexa, stop. Miss Bliss took on Ember Moon. Damn Amazon Echo. Alexa had some. Alexa, stop.
You jobber. You just told yourself not to do it, and you did it immediately afterwards.
So she brings 4 security guys to the ring, and oh, gee, let me guess. Ronda's going to whoop the asses of all 4 of them.
Indie workers. Indie workers.
I love the last guy. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't want a piece of it. Nope, I don't want a piece of it.
He was like the agents at the end of the first Matrix movie. And they just looked at each other like, we're getting the fuck out of here!
Or Friday when Debo looks at the old man. You want some of this, old man? No. Ember Moon and Bliss. Nice 13-minute match. I thought it was a good opener for Monday Night Raw to have a nice lengthy women's match on the show. Ember Moon won by DQ, thanks to Crazy Foxy, who I don't know what the fuck she was wearing. Wearing her captain's jacket with some leaves in her hair. I don't know.
People claim that Alexa was dressed up in her Harley Quinn-ish attire on Monday, which I didn't agree with. People claim that Foxy was doing Poison Ivy to play off the 2 DC characters, but I didn't look at Bliss on Monday and think Harley Quinn like I've thought in the past.
Yeah, and I did not looking at Foxy and thinking Poison Ivy because she was wearing. Remember she had that. Remember when she was the captain of the Survivor Series team and she had that captain's jacket and she wore that to the ring.
Yeah. Well, one sleeve of it anyway.
True. The announce team before the match introduced Renee Young. Very, very cool. A moment again to have Renee Young in the broadcast booth, and she more than held her own. I think there's definitely going to be a future of her in the announce booth. And if you go back a ways, you'll see her in the booth at NXT. I can't remember the years, Matt. Probably 15, maybe early 16.
Yeah, I can't remember when.
Way back. Actually, I think it was it might have been. God, was it the early days of the network, or was that Riley and Bloom.
There's been a ton of commentary teams on NXT over the years.
Yeah.
So,
Baron Corbin took on Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze did get a little bit of offense in, but hey, here you go, Matt. You're talking about how Corbin never wins.
I didn't even see this match. I was out getting dinner.
You talk about how Corbin never wins with the Deep Six, and they all get all excited about it. Corbin won with the Deep Six this time. They listen to you, Matt.
No, I just think that's proof that WWE stalks my Twitter account.
Well, yeah, they stalk our show too. Obviously, I mean, we got a lot of proof of that.
But yeah, I didn't even see the match. Like after the opening segment, I was like, yeah, let's go get dinner. And I don't even remember what I got. I think I got McDonald's. And I just wasn't feeling Raw. And I came back and I still wasn't feeling Raw.
Well, I fell asleep through part of it, so.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a show, man.
Kevin Owens and Jinder Mahal were supposed to take on Finn Balor in a handicap match that was handpicked by Corbin, but Angle came out and goes, I'm the matchmaker here, bitch. I'm going to make a tag match, playa. Holla, holla, holla. And Finn's partner, gee, I wonder who it is. Braun Strowman, Finn Balor. The best friends reunite and get the win after Strowman hits the running power slam on Mahal after 13 minutes. Good tag match between those guys. Probably the highlight match-wise for Monday Night Raw. Angle is in the office trying to get a hold of Seth Rollins because Rollins still has to sign that contract. And Ziggler and McIntyre walk in and have proclaimed that they have broken Seth Rollins. Wonderful. Ziggler asked Angle if he could look at the contract, see if anything fell through the cracks. And Ziggler goes, that's not how you spell Ziggler. Angle goes, what? Okay. This is just proof. This is where I fell asleep, by the way. This is proof that the creative just sucks. Elias and Seth Rollins had something going there. Great feud. They finally were starting to book Bobby Lashley right with the feud with Roman Reigns. They completely took a step back with this Lashley and Elias feud that I like both guys and I don't give two shits about it.
We don't have anything for either of you guys. We're just going to throw you together and
with shitty creative
and put you on the show. That's all this was. Mm-hmm. Like, are they even? They're not even fighting at SummerSlam, are they?
No.
Because like Elias has like a performance or whatever.
Yeah, this is just basically.
So like the whole thing was set up to have a match, and then they decided not to even do it.
Yeah, it's more like the main purpose of this is to promote Elias's stuff, which is fine, and they just have a foil to all that.
I'm sure they'll have a segment on. I'm sure Lashley will interrupt them on the show.
Oh yeah.
At SummerSlam and whatever. I just don't care.
Triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. B Team, Deleter of Worlds, and Revival. Decent little match here. The B Team squeaks out a victory. After the Revival hit the Shatter Machine on Bray, Axel dumped Dawson out of the ring and covered for the win. Later on, it was announced that the Revival will take on the B Team in the kickoff show for the Raw Tag Team Championships, where Rusev is happy to be on the kickoff show with the Cruiserweights.
Another thing that's annoying me about Raw lately?
There's a lot of things, but what?
The fact that they got a fucking mole.
Oh, yeah.
Leaking out the entire run sheet of the show before before Raw even goes on the air. It's one thing when you're taped, and and you expect that, and you read it, and that's fine. But when the entire rundown comes out of a live show that hasn't even aired yet, and you can click it off one by one, yep, this is about to happen, this is about to happen, this is about to happen, and it's all freaking out there on the internet already, somebody got to be fired, man.
Yeah.
WWE needs to find out who's leaking this damn run sheet, and they need to fire their ass. Like, don't get me wrong, I love wrestling insider news and stuff, but this is taking it to, another level that shouldn't be done.
And thankfully I stay away from that site, so I don't.
Well, I've been linked to it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Before Raw starts, and I look over and I'm just like, man, Raw's gonna suck tonight. And it's just bleh. I don't like that at all. Like, they need to find out who the mole is on that one, and that dude needs to lose his job, because that shit shouldn't be coming out before the show even airs.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
I woke back up for Roman Reigns, and
Roman Reigns.
I'll tell you what, Matt, I enjoyed this segment. I loved it. I loved the interactions with Heyman.
I hated this segment.
I liked the pepper spraying, leading to Lesnar coming out and attack. I liked the whole set.
Dude,
I liked it.
If any human being was actually sprayed with that much pepper spray, they'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous the amount of spray that they used. Because not only would it have killed Roman, it would have affected everybody at ringside. Like, there was that much of it shot. Like, they really overdid that. And any interest and intrigue I had in this match going into Sunday that Paul helped create for us last week with his sit-down interview was completely wiped out in this segment. They should have ended it with Heyman handing Roman the paper and whatever was written on it, and Heyman leaving. And if they wanted to, they could have had Heyman leave and Brock come out of the crowd and jump Roman and beat him down afterwards, but Heyman's not there. So you're left wondering, did Heyman set him up, or is Roman gonna have to look for Heyman to help him beat Brock on Sunday? What's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you already gave it away. You fucked it up on Monday. They ruined all the intrigue and wonder that you could have going into this match with this segment.
Yeah,
to me, they completely killed this match for me on Monday. I was buying back in last week after Heyman's segment. I'm like, oh my god, they could do something really cool here, and they shit the bed with it on Raw Monday.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying there. I still thought it was a effective, good segment, but yeah, I see what you're saying there about but it was all a ruse. The interview was a ruse. The him talking to Roman, wanting Roman to be a Paul Heyman guy, it was all a ruse. So I thought it was a good segment, but I do see what you're saying in terms of where you could have had a little more intrigue going into it, especially if
and yet another reason, if the match is going to go on last and you don't want the Brooklyn crowd to walk out. Not only do you have the allure of, is somebody going to cash in, but you have the allure of, what's Paul Heyman going to do? I don't give a damn about this match, but I love Paul Heyman, and I want to sit here and see what he does.
Yeah, and the good,
and they took all of that away in one segment. I couldn't believe they were that stupid.
The good thing you could do, well, it's Raw in a nutshell for the creative.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Yeah, and what you could have done is had Lesnar come to the ring by himself, and then like 10 minutes into the match, Heyman walks down to the ring, and you're like, oh,
what side is he on? Yeah, type of deal. Yeah, exactly. They easily could have done that. So, they could have done throughout the night, like Heyman walking backstage. In one segment, he enters Brock Lesnar's locker room, and then like an hour later, you see him walking into Roman Reigns' locker room, and everybody's like, "What's he doing? What's going on?" And you had it. Yeah, you're right. You don't have him come out at the beginning of the match, but he comes out like 10 minutes in, and then you're like, "Oh my god, what's Heyman gonna do?" And they ruined all of it. They took all of the intrigue and the allure out of this match in one fucking segment. They had a great build-up over the last 2 previous weeks to make you like invested into this match beyond just the fact that it's Roman and Brock again, and they threw it all away.
Yeah, if only we were.
Like, it's just unbelievable.
If only we were booking the product.
Yeah, we'd have to shake Randy Orton's dick.
I heard about that. Oh yeah, I got some comments because on this day 7 years ago, when I met Matt at SummerSlam in 2011, and we met Randy Orton, And that's where I learned about the dick. But they asked if I shook. A bunch of guys asked if I shook Randy Orton's hand. I go, I'm pretty sure I did. And yeah, I didn't see a dick. That was where Matt and I met at a THQ event, and Randy Orton was the cover man for WWE 12 that year. So
yeah, back when there was a video game company that cared about the WWE games franchise.
Yeah.
THQ, we miss you.
For some reason, they had Titus Worldwide and Bobby Roode pair up with go against AOP and Mojo.
No, actually, the pairing made sense. It was a pointless match, but the pairing made sense.
Okay, yeah, well,
based off the two feuds that were put together here.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was getting at the fact that they did a 6-man tag match in 2 minutes.
But Nate, nothing makes me happier than see Mojo Rawley job it in 2 minutes.
True.
The fact that Bobby Roode has beaten him twice in a row, like, I can't even tell you how big of a smile that puts on my face.
Yeah.
Because fuck Mojo Rawley, and they've done such a bad disservice to Rude.
Oh.
Look, if you're going to tell me, we built up Mojo Rawley for a month and a half just to feed him to Bobby Roode, to me, that's one of the most hilarious jokes they've ever done. And I love everything about it. And you guys might have done shit with the Lesnar Roman thing, but if you seriously built Mojo up for a month and a half just to feed him to Bobby Roode, kudos. I love that more than you have any idea.
Am I crazy, Matt? Am I crazy to say?
Well, you're crazy.
You're crazy. I'm starting to like the Riot Squad now.
Yeah, you're definitely crazy.
They're like it seems to be. Liv is getting better in the ring. It seems to be a little better. I don't know. Sasha took on Ruby.
Not a fan.
9-minute match. Nice little decent match there. Ruby Riott getting the win in her first singles match since coming back from injury. Depending on what happens, I wonder if Ruby might be the one in line to face Ronda if Ronda wins. That might be a possibility down the line.
Yeah, I'd love to see Ronda flatten all three of them.
Liv is getting better in the ring, and she's still better than Carmella. So,
well, yes, everybody's better than Carmella.
The intrigue of whether Seth Rollins has arrived yet continued. And continued on to the final segment where Angle's trying to stall for time when Ziggler and Drew come out. And Ziggler signed the contract. He's wondering if this match is still going on at SummerSlam or else I could do a comedy set. Angle goes, "Here's Seth Rollins." Oh, nice triangle. That didn't work. He tried it again. Didn't work. And they're talking about how he had travel issues because he was promoting the WWE in Shanghai as they're returning to China in September. And, Ziggler and McIntyre just said, Rollins quit, They respect Seth Rollins because, but he quit. He was the architect of his own downfall. And then all of a sudden, here is the music, Seth Rollins. Just when we thought he was going to have to forfeit that match. Rollins said he's sorry he's late. Sorry you had to sit through that Dolph Ziggler therapy session. I've actually been in the arena for a while. I didn't want to go out until Ziggler actually signed the contract because he was dealing with travel issues, but they weren't his. And the crowd, then they realized, they knew who was coming.
JB creamed his pants.
Yeah, welcome back, my number one guy, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, Triple H. He looks a lot like Triple H with the shaved, with the short hair and the beard, doesn't he? And
did you see the tweet going around yesterday? The WWE 2K19 to feature 3 eras of Triple H, and it was a picture of Bobby Roode in the suit, Dolph from Raw with that crazy blonde hair like Triple H had in the DX era, and Dean Ambrose.
That's funny.
So I thought that was pretty damn good.
Greensboro exploded for the return of Dean Ambrose, and I'm happy. He's my favorite wrestler on the roster right now. So, dude's a little cut now, isn't he?
That would be accurate.
He is in hella shape.
Hella.
Interesting note, Renee Young said nothing during this, probably because she was creeping her pants too. Ziggler and Ambrose kick some ass and then do the shield pose to send us all home happy. Though Raw as a whole sucked, it was great to see my boy back. And he'll be accompanying Rollins to the ring. SmackDown, we are in Greenville, South Carolina. I think we're still in Flair country officially. Woo! Charlotte Flair comes out. So does Becky Lynch. So does Carmella. Carmella looking nice in those shorts, if you know what I mean. What'd you think of the opening promo with these three ladies?
Awful.
Yeah, it was there.
Anytime Carmella has a microphone in her hands or a headset on her head, I want to change the channel.
And that was the first half hour of the show.
Yep. Did not start off good for me.
Paige came out and said, Carmella, you'll do what you do best and talk on commentary, while Charlotte and Becky do what they do best and wrestle in the ring. Tag match against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Oh, Mandy Rose. Speaking of creaming in the pants, I think Corey Graves did there. Every time she comes out. Nice little 11-minute match there with, of course, the two women in the title match going over, no surprise, as Mandy Rose taps out to the disarmer.
They shouldn't have.
What do you mean? Oh, you think there should have been a little dissension to cause a lose?
Yeah, I think there should have been a miscommunication between Charlotte and Becky, and cost themselves the match that way, and then they could get heated into it afterwards. Because the whole, I'm buddy, but I want to beat you for the title going into SummerSlam is just dumb. So it would have been a lot better to see some tension between them before the match. Because we all know they're going to come to blows anyway, so why not just freaking solidify it on SmackDown?
Yeah. Miz and Maurice doing a little selfie promo from their home ahead of the match with Daniel Bryan, but also, of course, that was where they broke the news that Miz and Mrs. is renewed for a second season. So, obviously, both Matt and I enjoy the show, so we're both happy about that. And it's getting some nice ratings, man.
Ratings Impact only wishes they could see.
That show's getting 10 times the amount of people that Impact's getting.
Well, they're getting TNA Spike TV era ratings right now.
They're getting better than that even. Well, at least the premiere had about 1.5 million.
Yeah, that's around what Impact was doing on Spike.
Oh, I didn't know it. I thought they were hovering around 1 million. I didn't realize they were 1.5 million.
Yeah, they were average. I'd say they'd average 1.4 to 1.5 million a week when they were on Spike.
Three jabronis named the Triple Threat took on the Bludgeon Brothers. You know how that lasts.
I'm sure Shane Douglas was thrilled.
I absolutely loved the 3-part series with Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
They're easily the best on the show.
Yeah, that was well done. Each part was about 4 minutes long, going all the way back to the NXT days. Daniel Bryan said, when NXT was a little different. Yeah, when it was stupid. People doing obstacle courses.
So dumb.
New Day took on Sanity to tune up for...
the funny thing about that, there's only like 2 members from that original NXT season that have jobs.
Brian and... Hold on. Holy fuck. My God, why am I blanking? Jobs in the WWE or just jobs, period?
Jobs in WWE.
Jobs in... What? Why am I blanking?
Come on, man. He's got kids.
Oh, Heath Slater. That's right. Well, he's barely got a job in the WWE. You barely see him.
Oh, yeah, but who cares? He's still collecting a paycheck.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like, God damn. Well, we know it ain't Michael Tarver.
No. He was gone before the NXT, before the freaking Nexus storyline even ended.
Yeah. And then we got yep.
Right back.
And we got Justin Gabriel who's doing just fine for himself in Lucha.
You got Darren Young, who was just released recently.
Yeah.
Well, probably the most recent out of that group was Darren Young's release.
New Day took on Sanity to tune up for the Bludgeon Brothers, and no surprise, the guys that are going to fight for the titles got the win. Great match though with the 6-man
See,
tag.
and that match result made sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the Midnight Hour anymore. I guess it's called Up Down Down. When
they've been calling it that for a while now.
Yeah. I guess when Xavier's involved, when Woods is involved, it's Up Down Down. When Kofi's involved, it's the Midnight Hour.
Correct.
After that match, they showed part 2 of the Miz and Daniel Bryan story, basically the Talking Smack era. Paige knocks on Joe's door. Joe said he's too shy to go to the ring with Styles later. Joe shy, come on. Paige didn't want Joe to ruin the main event at SummerSlam. It's the true main event, kids. Even though it may not go on last, but it's the true main event.
It won't go on last.
Paige asked Joe to be professional. Joe said when she wanted him to take on Styles at SummerSlam, she liked his killer instinct and unpredictability. How can he be unpredictable if he does everything that he's told to do? Joe and Styles for the WWE Championship. How insane is that?
You'd have told me that 10 years ago when I was doing that match on my SmackDown vs. Raw video games with created wrestlers. Never would have guessed it.
Aiden English trying to right the wrongs took on Andrade Cien Almas, lost in about 2 minutes. After the match, Zelina and Andrade had some words for Rusev Day. Rusev and Lana came out, and they had some words as well.
I hope Rusev breaks his back and makes him humble. Iron Sheik style, baby.
Paige in the office while AJ Styles shows up. Paige says she needs Styles and Joe to stay professional. Styles says if she talked to Joe, and Joe said, yeah, I did, but it didn't go well. People look up to you as champion, though. Styles says he made his wife a promise and intends to keep it. They show Jeff Hardy in his face paint backstage right before they go to part 3 of the Daniel Bryan Miz story. Jeff Hardy took on Shelton Benjamin. Quick little 5-minute match. Obviously, these guys can do really well with time. We've seen that before, obviously. Hardy with a twist of fate stunner and hit a splash. Not a twist, not a swanton. Just hit a splash after the twist of fate stunner and got the win. Nakamura made his entrance, and Benjamin got back onto the apron. Hardy knocked him down, which led to Nakamura getting a knee to the back of the head. Hardy avoids the Kinshasa, though, and hits a swanton on Nakamura, while Randy Orton and his dirty hands look from behind the curtain.
It was so weird.
Kind of creepy.
I feel like the whole last couple segments of SmackDown, I feel like the show was over time clocked, and just things that seemed like they would have been originally scheduled to happen didn't happen. I feel like Randy Orton was supposed to attack Hardy. I feel like we were supposed to get that segment with Styles being held back.
By the club
from Joe from the club and the Usos. I feel like all this stuff was supposed to be a part of the show, and they just ran out of time. I feel like something went long. And maybe it was that horrendous segment with Carmella to open the show.
That went 15. That went 15 minutes.
Went way too fucking long.
Yeah.
So, I feel like SmackDown could have been a lot better if it would have been paced a lot better. But it just... Look, SmackDown's normally so good. I'll give them an off week. It just sucks to have an off week going into SummerSlam.
What do you think about the letter? The letter that Joe had? To
me, it fell flat. I was just like, well, that was a flat ass ending to that. And luckily, I know these two could tear it down. But I'm not as invested in this match now as I was. But they brought me back in a bit with the backstage segment that they put on social media later on. And that was something that needed to be on SmackDown. Joe should have went to the back, and Styles should have stormed out of the ring to chase him down and get held back, and Joe walked walk away. That segment should have been on the show. That should have been how the show ended.
You think that was a fabrication of Joe, or was it storyline real? I'm talking pure story.
No, it was Joe fucking with AJ. It's mind games.
Okay. I was just checking. 13 matches on the SummerSlam.
Way too fucking many. Honest to God, dude. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I watched this show with friends and we eat a bunch of food, I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm just not. Maybe I'm looking forward to maybe 2 or 3 matches on the entire card. Just blah. Summer blah. That's what it is, JB. Summer blah.
Yeah, we'll probably take less time covering these 13 matches than we did covering the 5 for Takeover. 3 pre-show matches. B-Team Revival. Is the B-Team's luck running out, Matt?
You know what? Stupider things have happened. There was a title change on the SummerSlam pre-show last year. I'll say there's another one. I'll say the Revival gets the titles here.
I agree. I think the Revival are going to win here. B-Team's kind of been getting by with luck and fluke. They're ready to finally make the Revival the best tag team in the company, which they are. I think it's time. I think it's time for a change. Rusev and Lana, Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. This is the match I wanted to see because I did not want to see Rusev and Aiden English. Matt, I'm afraid if I'm booking it, clearly I put Rusev and Lana over, but I'm not booking it. I'm highly thinking seeing it.
I refuse to pick Almas's team, so I'm going Rusev Lana.
I don't trust him. I don't trust creative Vince. I don't trust Vince. I think Almas and Vega are going to win it.
I feel Rusev's been protected since losing the title match due to Aiden English. I feel like they could redeem everything here and have Aiden English be the reason that Rusev and Lana win on Sunday.
Hey, I'd like that.
They could put the 3 of them back together,
which I would love. I would love that.
So,
but I'm being the cynical one here. Usually, I'm not the cynical one when it comes to booking. You are, but this time I'm going to be the cynical one. I think Vega and Almas win.
If they do, it'll be because of English.
One
way or another, English will be involved in the finish of that match.
Unfortunately, and not rightfully so, the Cruiserweight Championship is on the pre-show again.
Why'd they even bother? I'd rather would have had it on 205 Live. Would have been given proper time.
Cedric and Drew. If this was on the main card, I would call for a change, but I think Cedric's going to hold it. I think we're going to head towards Cedric and Leo.
I 100% agree. Cedric retains. I feel bad for Drew, but I think Leo Rush is your next 205 Live champion.
Finn Balor, Baron Corbin. I don't know why this feud's continuing. Is Baron getting his win back because of this, or is Finn finally going to win and move on?
I think Finn wins. I want him to come out as the Demon, but they've done no hints that that's going to happen. But I would prefer a Demon sighting in Brooklyn on Sunday. But I don't. I mean, Balor Corbin just beat him on Raw 2 weeks ago, clean. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Finn really needs this win.
And this is the hypothetical. This is the hypothetical rubber match, and on top of that, they've already proven that they are probably not pushing Corbin in this power role. So he's got a great role. He's on TV every week as an authority figure. I agree. I think Balor's going to move on. I'd love to see the Demon, but why bring the Demon back for this? That's why I say bring the Demon back for something more special than this. Shinsuke Nakamura, Jeff Hardy. Are we going to get what time may have cut out Randy Orton, Austin Hardy? And
because Orton's not on the show, so Orton's going to be involved. So Nakamura retains.
Yeah, and I saw I had zero thoughts of Hardy regaining the title here. Shinsuke, no matter who was involved, Randy, nobody, anybody, somebody, whoever, Shinsuke was walking out champion. Triple threat match. I'm going to stick to my guns. I said 2 months ago when I predicted Becky Lynch was going to be in this picture, either with Asuka or Carmella, Becky Lynch is going to walk out SummerSlam champion. What do you think?
Anybody but Carmella, and unfortunately, I think Carmella's going to squeak out with the win.
Ooh, really?
I think Becky and Charlotte are going to somehow cancel each other out, and they're going to cost each other the match.
I think this is Becky.
That's why I hated the fact that this was a triple threat to begin with.
I think this is still Becky's moment to shine, and she's going to come out the winner.
Dude, there's no part of me that wants you to be wrong.
Yeah.
But to me, Becky has the worst chance of the three of winning this match. It's either Charlotte and Becky cancel each other out and screw each other, and Carmella squeaks out with the title, or Charlotte wins the title and turns heel on Becky afterwards. You know, I don't see any scenario coming out of Sunday where the person who I want to see win in Becky Lynch actually wins.
Well, I kind of could see your point, but I think Becky pins Carmella and Charlotte turns heel. That's another way you could do it with Becky as champ.
I'd be good with that. I just don't see it happening, man.
I just feel that Becky's gonna be the champion here.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I mean, Daniel Bryan Miz. I mean, there's no question Bryan's gonna win this. It's gonna be.
I think the Miz wins.
Oh.
Just like I said earlier, if Gargano doesn't win, the feud's over. If Daniel Bryan beats Miz on the first get-go, this feud's done.
Mm.
And if you want to stretch out the Miz and Daniel Bryan, the Miz needs to win the first match.
Okay, well they need to stretch it out. That's for damn sure.
And they need to have Miz ducking Bryan after the match. Like Bryan needs to somehow, they could easily stretch this out where Bryan and Miz don't face each other again until WrestleMania.
Mm.
And they face each other at WrestleMania because Miz wins the WWE Championship and Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble.
Oh, all right, I'm picking the Miz. I like that booking.
I just feel like if Bryan wins, the feud's done.
Okay.
Like why would we continue to see the feud if Bryan beats him clean?
And I don't want this feud to end. So, I mean,
and I don't think the feud ends either. I feel Miz wins on Sunday. I don't think he'll do it clean. I think Maurice will be involved. I think Miz will be pulling out all the stops, but I do think Miz wins on Sunday.
Maurice with some fingernails to the eyes, or a little perfume in the eyes. Or...
Yeah, let's hope it's not pepper spray.
A gallon of pepper spray. The big question on Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins is Dean turning heel to cost Seth. Dolph's walking out with the champion. There's no reason for Seth to regain it here. I don't think Dean turns heel yet.
Here's the thing. If Dean doesn't turn heel, Seth's winning the title. If Dean turns heel, Dolph retains. I don't think you need to turn Dean immediately. You could have him turn on Rollins later. I think Rollins wins the title on Sunday. I think turning Dean heel 6 days after his return could be a huge mistake.
Yeah.
A lot of people are happy that he's back. You can slow burn the heel turn. You don't need to do it immediately. I would not. I would not turn him heel immediately. I
think Dolph. I don't think there's a heel turn, and I still think Dolph walks out the champion.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I promise you, if Dean does not turn heel, Rollins is winning the title.
I just say that because I think Roman's not going to have the title either. I think they're going to redo the Shield again, and since we didn't get the full run last year with Dean turning his tricep.
And feud with who?
Well, we'll see, but
exactly. There's nobody set up on Raw right now for them to feud with.
But I just think Ziggler retains.
Yeah, you're wrong. No, Ziggler retains if Dean turns heel.
This
That's there's no way.
This match,
there's no way Rollins doesn't win that title if Dean don't turn heel.
This match I'm so 50-50 on. It's because the result of this match is going to be telling us who's going to win the final match. Strowman, Kevin Owens. Who do you think? You think KO wins, or Strowman come out with it?
Strowman retains. He's lost to Jinder Mahal twice in the last month. He's not losing. He's not losing at SummerSlam.
I'm so 50-50. I couldn't even pick. I'm like, I could see both sides so easily, but yeah. Strowman losing those couple matches, even though they were fluky.
Well, they were doing it to demonstrate, if he loses this way, he loses his briefcase.
Yep, so they made it kind of obvious.
Yeah, so, like, to me, they were just, like, basically blatantly telling you Strowman's keeping the case.
I got a weird feeling the New Day is going to beat the Bludgeon Brothers. It's just like, it's just, they've been booked so weird. As champions, like not even really on TV much. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know if it's on purpose or what, but I just have this weird feeling the New Day are going to beat them. What do you think?
I'm not going to be happy until I see the Bar and the Bludgeon Brothers, so I'm going to say keep them on the Bludgeon Brothers for now.
Make the Bar
I
Bar baby faces.
Yeah, I want to see the Bar and the Bludgeon Brothers. Like, that's what I wanted for SummerSlam. I'm really annoyed we're getting New Day. I love New Day, but I've seen New Day and Bludgeon Brothers already, like, several times. I wanted something fresh. They fucked us. So, to me, I think the Bludgeon Brothers retain, and I want the Bar to step up.
Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. What do you see going down there?
If Rousey doesn't win, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I agree.
I want Rousey to win this match.
Your scenario,
I'm gonna be really fucking mad if she doesn't.
Your scenario with Baszler is the only thing that will not make me pissed off. That Bliss
I'll still be pissed. Even if I call stuff ahead of time, doesn't mean I'm not going to be pissed about it.
I like the idea though.
I'm telling you right now, if Sane beats Baszler on Saturday, there's a good damn chance Rousey's not winning on Sunday. Because they could do she'd be Bliss's bodyguard and be like, if I can't have a title, neither can you.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing, and she has to go through Baszler to get another shot at Bliss, which would coincidentally line up with Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do Baszler and Rousey at Hell in a Cell, then they could do Rousey and Bliss again at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So, we shall see.
Universal title, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Are you on the same boat as me? Braun Strowman wins. That means Lesnar wins. Or is Reigns finally knocked the fucking title off of Lesnar and Strowman waits a lot longer to cash in?
If Reigns doesn't win, I give up.
Well, if Reigns does, if Braun wins against KO and Lesnar beats Reigns, then I could definitely see a cash in by Strowman.
Well, yeah, so could I. But at the same token, like,
they have built up Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's time to fucking pull the trigger that you should have fucking pulled at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the struggle.
And just let him win the fucking title already.
The long ongoing struggle of Reigns trying to beat Lesnar. So yeah, I think Reigns beats Lesnar, and I think Braun's holding. They got this marketing with Monster in the Bank. I think Braun holds that briefcase for into the new year. Honestly,
I don't. He don't hold it that long.
I think so. I do.
He looks dumb holding that briefcase. He's too big.
They're selling shirts with it though.
Are they though?
Yeah, I wish I had the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are they really selling that shirt? It's hideous.
The main event of SummerSlam, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Joe, this is going to be, again, the Sid Nickel part. Joe should win this, but...
He has to. God. They're scheduled to fight again in Hell in a Cell. They're scheduled to fight at SmackDown 1000.
Oh, are they?
If Joe doesn't win at SummerSlam, why are they still fighting come October?
Yeah, good point.
To me, like, it's the same thing with the Miz. If it's the same thing with the Miz, it's the same thing with Ciampa. If the good guy wins, if Bryan beats Miz, feud's over. If Styles beats Joe, why is Joe going to get a rematch?
Yeah, I didn't know all that, so...
Yeah, they're scheduled to face in Hell in a Cell, and they're also, like, I got an email from the arena in DC that's doing SmackDown 1000.
Yeah.
And the card, it's a triple main event for SmackDown 1000, featuring AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, and Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. And they're also advertising an appearance from The Undertaker. So...
Gong. All right, well, that changed my mind then, because I just thinking the way Vince thinks, I thought AJ Styles is going to retain, but
I just look. I can't see. I don't understand how. I don't understand how this story can continue if Styles beats Joe. To me, Joe has to win the WWE Championship on Sunday, and Styles has had a hell of a long reign. Like, almost for a full year.
He just became the longest SmackDown champion in history, surpassing JBL.
Yeah, so it wouldn't hurt to drop the title now.
No, I agree. I just don't. I just don't feel confident in the WWE doing that. I want Joe as WWE champion. He deserves it, and he's one of the best promo guys in the business. He's one of the best workers in the business. He completely deserves it. And it'll be a hell of a moment, the long journey he's had, and this match is gonna steal the show.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it'll be the best match on the show.
Knowing what I know now, I will pick Joe, but before that, without knowing that stuff, I just didn't put I just didn't put faith in.
I mean, I guess Joe could win by DQ, like Styles could snap, and get himself disqualified, and Samoa Joe could win by DQ.
Hell in a Cell.
And then he would still be, he should be entitled to another match because he won. So I guess they could do that. But I mean, regardless, it would still require for Joe to win.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't leave with the championship, to me, it just feels like Joe has to win.
Yeah, I could say that my original guess was Joe's not leaving with the championship, but but now knowing what I do know, I mean, that changes things a lot, obviously. So that's going to do it for this edition of Lost the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know whenever time a new episode comes your way every Thursday, and also certain Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. You can also get those on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share some of the great tweets within the wrestling world. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, look forward to that weekend in Brooklyn. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
SummerSlam, please don't be as bad as I think you're going to be.
Well, it's going to be as long as we think it's going to be. We know that for sure. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We will be back at you next Thursday.